Carl Jung's interest in Gnostics was influenced by his personal experiences, especially those regarding the wise man archetype, that we will look even deeper upon this episode. He had several mystical experiences throughout his life that led him to question the limitations of traditional religious dogma and search for a more holistic understanding of the universe. Jung saw the Gnostics as a valuable source of psychological insight, as their emphasis on individual experience and inner knowledge mirrored his own views on the importance of self-discovery and personal transformation. He saw their teachings as a kind of psychological map, guiding individuals towards a deeper understanding of the human psyche and the nature of the universe. In many ways, Jung's interest in the Gnostics reflected his broader view on the importance of spirituality and the search for meaning and purpose in life. He believed that the Gnostics, with their emphasis on personal experience and inner knowledge, could offer valuable insights into the human psyche and the deeper mysteries of the universe. In the last episode, we met the wise man represented as Philemon. He talked about a new god that mankind forgot about, called Abraxas. We will now examine, who is this new god? The following night, the dead approached like fog, from a swamp and exclaimed,
"Tell us more, about the highest God."
This is the third sermon to the dead. Abraxas is the god who is difficult to grasp. His power is greatest, because man does not see it. From the sun he draws the summum bonum, from the devil the infimum malum, but from Abraxas life, altogether indefinite, the mother of good and evil. Life seems to be smaller and weaker than the summum bonum, therefore it is also hard to conceive that Abraxas's power transcends even the sun's, which is the radiant source of all vital force. Abraxas is the sun, and at the same time the eternally sucking gorge of emptiness, of the diminisher and dismemberer, of the devil. The power of Abraxas is twofold, but you do not see it, because in your eyes, the warring opposites of this power are cancelled out. What the sun god speaks is life, what the devil speaks is death. But Abraxas speaks that hallowed and accursed word, that is at once life and death. Abraxas produces truth and lying, good and evil, light and darkness, in the same word and in the same act. Therefore, Abraxas is terrible. He is as splendid as the lion in the instant he strikes down his victim, he is as beautiful as a spring day. He is the monster of the underworld, a thousand-armed polyp, a coiled knot of winged serpents, frenzy. He is the hermaphrodite of the earliest beginning. He is the lord of toads and frogs, which live in the water and go up on the land, whose chorus ascends at noon and at midnight. He is the fullness that seeks union with emptiness. He is holy begetting. He is love and its murder. He is the saint and his betrayer. He is the brightest light of day and the darkest night of madness. To look upon him is blindness. To recognize him is sickness. To worship him is death. To fear him is wisdom. Not to resist him is redemption. God dwells behind the sun, the devil behind the night. What God brings forth out of the light, the devil sucks into the night. But Abraxas is the world, its becoming and its passing. Upon every gift that comes from the sun god the devil lays his curse. Everything that you request from the sun, God produces a deed from the devil. Everything that you create with the sun, God gives effective power to the devil. That is terrible Abraxas. He is the mightiest created being and in him creation is afraid of itself. He is the manifest opposition of creation to the pleroma and its nothingness. He is the son's horror of the mother. He is the mother's love for the son. He is the delight of the earth and the cruelty of the heavens. Before him there is no question and no reply. He is the life of creation, he is the effect of differentiation. He is the love of man, he is the speech of man. He is the appearance and the shadow of man. He is deceptive reality. Now the dead howled and raged, for they were incomplete.
How, my father, should I understand this God?
My son, why do you want to understand him? This God is to be known but not understood. If you understand him, then you can say that he is this and not that, thus you hold him in the hollow of your hand and therefore your hand must throw him away. The God whom I know is this and that and just as much this other and that other. Therefore no one can understand this God, but it is possible to know him, and therefore I speak and teach him. That was the third sermon to the dead. The dead ones that come to Jung during his visions seek answers, that they did not find during their lifetime because they had to reject their God. But why did they have to reject their God? We can read this answer in the Red Book spoken by Philemon. Should I teach them a God in whom they can believe and to whom they can pray? That is precisely what they have rejected. Why did they reject it? They had to reject it because they could not do otherwise, and why did they have no other choice? Because the world, without these men knowing it, entered that month of the great year where one should believe only what one knows, referring that science has taken over belief. That is difficult enough, but it is also a remedy for the long sickness that arose from the fact that one believed what one did not know. In the next episode we will learn more about other gods and devils and their correlation to one another. Thank you for viewing.